Hey guys, good morning. So I am going to teach you how to draw one of my favorite artists today. And I remembered this only because of the amazing shirt that I put on today when I got up. And this is actually a shirt that I painted a few years ago. I wanted a Frida Kahlo t-shirt and I just didn't find one that I liked well enough to buy. And so I painted this. And I know it's probably coming up backwards on the thing, but it says, I am not sick. I am broken, but I am happy as long as I can paint. And it was always a quote that really resonated with me within my heart because of Frida's story and how much she went through as just as a person. And at the time when I painted it, I had gone through quite a bit of struggle with my youngin and not knowing whether or not I was going to be able to have a child. And Frida herself struggled with not being able to have a family and went through many hardships with her medical history after suffering from a very traumatic bus accident. And she was just such a pillar of strength, and she's definitely someone that so many people look up to. And I definitely do as a female artist because there's not a lot of female artists. It's just such a male dominated field. And I love that she was able to find so much success, especially really just lying right in her bed and just sitting there and working and painting because she was getting out her emotions and talking about things that were happening to her. So some of her work is, parents, if you look it up for the students to look at, some of it can be quite detailed and graphic because she was talking about her pain and she was talking about her whole ordeal. And a lot of her pictures are her self-portraits. And they're not often quite cheerful because she didn't always feel quite cheerful. She tried to live as full of a life as she could, but we are going to draw her portrait today. And she was a beautiful woman, and she is still the cultural icon and hero in Mexico. And her idea of beauty was that I am just fine the way I am, no matter what. A lot of my students, the first thing they focus on, obviously, is her unibrow. And I'm like, well, gosh, she had much bigger things to worry about than just a unibrow. I'm sure when you're laying in bed and you have 30-some, 20-some surgeries, the last thing you're worried about is a little eyebrow hair. So we're going to draw Frida today, and I had found this drawing tutorial, and this is what I used with the students. And it was fairly simple for them because what I did was not only did I review with them how to draw a portrait, but again, having a guide for my kids to go over and put it out for them after I was already done and looking at something allowed them to kind of keep up with us. So we're going to use this Frida Kahlo guide, and then you can color in Frida any way you'd like to. What we're going to do to start this picture is we're going to actually take our paper, and you see that I used a large sheet here. I do not have my large sheets of paper here at home, so you can draw on a much smaller scale, and that is what I'm about to do. If you have a large sheet, please feel free to use it. That would be absolutely wonderful. But I'm going to start with my small paper, and I'm going to fold it in half. We're going to fold it in half, like I tell the kids, like a book or horizontally, depending on what you have been taught. And we'll open it up. We've got our crease, that's one of our lines, and then we're going to fold it in half again vertically, or like a hot dog, as some of the little ones need to know. So now I've got my guidelines, and that's going to help me draw my face. So I'm going to put this right on my little clipboard here so I can, hey, no, stay. so I can draw along with you guys. All right, so her face is going to be centered in the middle of this. We're going to have, here's my guidelines in case you can't see them. Oh, there they are. And I've got two little lines that start up just above my center guideline. And I'm coming in, let's say about a knuckle to fingertip length on each side. I'm going to come a little ways up, just a tiny little line. And I'm going to come in with a curved line. And I'm doing this upside down. So if it does not look fantastic, please forgive me. Curved line to a point. Curved line to a point. This is actually going to be her hair. Now I'm going to make her chin. Oh, that pencil's broken. This is why Mrs. Mims keeps extra pencils. And we're going to come down towards the center. And I'm kind of sketching it all in. We're going to try and make it symmetrical as best we can. Drawing upside down, I can already tell that mine's not. That's all right. Frida would forgive me. And when I adopted my little red cat that I have running around, her name was already Frida, and I went, I am not changing her name. She is going to stay Frida. So the next thing we'll do is we're going to give her a little bit of a neck on each side. There she is. And, of course, she needs some shoulders. It asks that we give her shoulders. Using the smaller paper, we don't have a whole lot of room, but we'll give her shoulders and a necklace. Frida loved wearing her jewelry. In some of her self-portraits, she would take the jewelry aspect out and actually draw perhaps thorns or some other kind of trinket around her neck. And anytime you saw the thorns, she was using that to symbolize the pain that she felt of being trapped inside of her own body. All right, we're going to start her hair. And this is going to come up. We got ears here, down below my little line. Kind of come up to just above. I'm trying to make sure I'm drawing the same one. And this is where her hair will start, right at her ears. And it starts right at our meeting line here. And so I'm kind of coming up, and I stop. This is where I'm going to start filling in with some flowers. And what's nice in this one is it gave just these real simple round flowers, and it made it simple for some of my kids to draw. Kids get freaked out by little things. I said, draw those. If you are somebody who knows how to draw other kinds of flowers, go ahead and do it. Frida loved wearing her crown of flowers, so I'm just going to start adding some flowers up here. And we're going to draw all different sizes so they can overlap. I'm surprised my daughter hasn't ran out here because I've said the name Frida so much. And add some more flowers. And then, of course, you can color those any way you want to. And add whatever else you need to. Now, those are her little crown of flowers. And now we're going to be ready to kind of, I just feel like I want more, and do her face. And so this is even better where the guidelines come in for Frida. Now we're going to have right on our center guideline, this is where our eyes are going to fall. And doing this upside down, we're going to see how well I do this, shall we? So again, we have those almond-shaped kind of eyes that kind of come in. And this is not going fantastic upside down, and that's fun. But that's why we use pencils, so we can erase. I am going to turn this towards me so I can at least give you guys something that looks halfway decent, shall we? And I'm going to do the other eye. Yeah, they're a little big. And we're going to do a little nose. This one has like this really square boxy nose. So some of the kids ended up doing that really square boxy nose for her. Just a line down and over. You can, of course, do that. If you've got something else that you know how to draw a little bit better, please feel free to do so. And we'll have her mouth. And then, of course, beautiful eyebrows. Now, a lot of my students, they did draw her eyebrows going all the way over and meeting in the middle. It was really quite beautiful to see that they embraced that part of her. Once you're done with the main drawing, you can kind of start just adding little details. I kind of close up the eyes a little bit. This is where I'll fix everything. We'll add some eyelashes. I did this with my fifth graders. I think you guys did this with me earlier in the year. We were studying Latin America, and we did some of this in October. So we had fun with it. They colored it. I just had, oh God, gorgeous drawings. I tweeted them out. You'd have to go back quite far on my Twitter account to see it, but you can always find me at Mrs. Mims, the number 1, on Twitter. I do tweet a lot of my kids' work whenever I can, and they did just a gorgeous job on this. So I encourage you to draw any of our artists that we learn about and study, and I encourage you to check out the work that I do with my students. Mrs. Mims, number 1. That's my handle on Twitter. And of course, you can comment down below. Tell me if you had success with this, if you struggled, what your thoughts are on it, if you're a fan of Frida or not, and if there's anything else you'd like to see. And I will answer you as soon as I'm able to. But until then, guys, have fun with your drawings, stay safe, and take care of each other. Bye, guys.